By the charges, the universities had not been able to meet up with some of their expenses. He added that modalities had been put in place for the takeoff of the student loans scheme in the 2023-2024 academic calendar. The National Union of Air Transport Employees has directed the Aviation Use Security and Logistics subsector to proceed on an immediate strike for Wednesday, August 16, 2023, following what they call poor wages. This was contained in a circular sent to the Director General of Civil Aviation, Managing Director, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, the Commissioner of Police, Airports Command, Director, Department of State Service, DSS, Murtala Mohammed International Airport. He added that all efforts to negotiate and improve their wages for their members in the past had proved abortive. Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, of federal government's partnership towards ensuring food security in the country. Shettima gave the assurance when he received in audience the IITA delegation by its Director General and Regional Director for Africa, Simeon Ehui, at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. He said that President Tinubu's administration would give all the necessary support and assistance to ensure food security and enhance agricultural practice that can produce enough food for the citizenry. He commended the IITA team for the many successes recorded in the agricultural sector in the West African region. Shettima also praised IITA for doing well in the production of certain agricultural produce such as cassava, yam, and soybeans. The VP, who stated further that IITA has an iconic presence in Ibadan and West Africa, assured that the country must maximize the benefits which the institution can bring to bear on the agricultural sector in the country. Let's turn to the country's northeast now, where Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has distributed food and other palliatives to 2,000 residents of Fizan Ward in Maiduguri Metropolitan Council, MMC. The distribution, which took place on Wednesday at the Mohammed Goni College of Legal and Islamic Studies, is part of ongoing efforts to reduce hardship caused by a rising cost of living as a result of the withdrawal of fuel subsidy by the federal government. Governor Zulum in July had launched the distribution of palliatives, which targeted over 300,000 households with about 6 persons per household to reach 1.8 million persons in need. Under the program, each eligible resident in Fizan received a palliative voucher that entitled them to get food items in order to reduce the hardship due to the rising prices of commodities. At the latest distribution in Fizan, the 2,000 households comprising 1,000 heads of male households and 1,000 heads of female households each received 1 bag of rice and a bag of beans. To ensure transparency and accountability in the selection process, the Borno State government had engaged the civil society to be part of the palliative distribution committee. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the NDLEA FCT Command says it intercepted about 3,091.32 kilograms of suspected illicit drugs with a monetary value of over 56.9 million naira between January and August. Mr. Kabri Sekuwa, FCT Commandant of the agency, disclosed this in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Wednesday in Abuja. Sekuwa said that the illicit drugs seized included suspected cannabis sativa, cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, tramadol, erofenol, diazepam, and ecstasy, as well as megadon. The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has begun orientation of 1,161 Corps members at the renovated Arabic Teachers College ATC camp in Borno State. The exercise, slated for next Friday in Maiduguri, the state capital, would hold at the 3,000 capacity camp, which has hostels as well as water and electricity supplies for the Corps members. NYSC State Coordinator Mohammed Adamu stated yesterday that the military, police, and other security agencies had yesterday assured of the security of personnel, orientation, and resource persons, as well as the Corps members in the renovated camp. He noted that the resumption of the orientation was 12 years after Boko Haram had begun terrorism in the state. Adamu therefore alleged the fears of parents and guardians over the safety of their children and wards during their 3-week orientation. He added that residents of Maiduguri, including the Sheikh of Borno, Alhaji Abubakar Ibn El Kanemi, were overwhelmed and excited over the resumption of orientation in the state. The Commandant General, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Ahmed Audi, has pledged to rid Niger State of criminal elements terrorizing the state lately. Audi made this pledge during his working visit to Niger State Governor Umar Bago. The CG, in a statement signed by the Corps spokesperson Babawale Afolabi on Wednesday, said the Corps will strengthen its working synergy with sister agencies in the state to address the security challenges. He implored the governor to create more office structures for the NSCDC across all 26 local government areas in the state. In his address, Governor Bago appreciated the timely visit of the NSCDC boss. He, however, lamented the activities of the bandits, cattle rustlers, and illegal miners, among other criminals in the state, adding that the farmers were worst hit as many abandoned their farmlands due to fear of being attacked. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms, including at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, Speaker of the House of Representatives solicits increased investment collaboration between Nigeria and South Korea. Please stay with us for details of these and more stories for you right after this break. This is Global Television bringing you News Express from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin has called for more trade and technology relationships between Nigeria and the Republic of South Korea, especially for more in the energy and mining sectors. Abbas made a call when a delegation from the South Korean Embassy to Nigeria and the 21st National Assembly of the Republic of South Korea visited him in his office in Abuja on Tuesday to seek Nigeria's support for the Asian country's World Expo 2023 hosting bid. He expressed delight over the visits and noted that the long-standing relations between Nigeria and South Korea resulting in different exchange of parliamentary programs since Nigeria's return to democracy in 1999. The Speaker recalled that the Ninth House established a Nigeria-South Korea Parliamentary Friendship Group to deepen exchange of ideas, legislative practices and procedure, as well as parliamentary exchange programs for purposes of capacity development of members and staff. He said there was a mutual understanding to initiate a treaty against double taxation on the businesses of both Nigeria and South Korea, which, though passed by the National Assembly, was not assented to by the then President of Nigeria. He went further to say the 10th House of Representatives will revisit the bill on double taxation to remove obstacles militating against smooth investment in both countries. The Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NATI, says Nigeria requires $20 billion annually to achieve the desired gas expansion plan to bridge the country's gas infrastructure. Dr. Orji Ogbonaya Orji, NATI Executive Secretary at the Policy Dialogue on Nigeria's Decade of Gas Action Plan on Monday in Abuja, said, given the shrinking fossil fuel investment landscape, clarity was required of infrastructure to be prioritized. The dialogue was organized by the African Initiative for Transparency, Accountability and Responsible Leadership, AFRITO, in collaboration with the Natural Resource Governance Institute and RGI. The federal government in December 2020 had rolled out the National Gas Expansion Program, NGEP, to deepen the use of natural gas and make it a preferred form of cleaner and cheaper energy for both personal and industrial use. In a remark, Orji said Nigeria had the largest gas reserves in Africa and the 9th largest globally, with gas reserves of over 200 trillion cubic feet. He recommended that the federal government should develop and publish a detailed, realistic, quoted, and comprehensive gas policy with clear rules for state and non-state actors, as well as timelines to track periodic progress. Let's turn to stories beyond our shores now. Russia's FSB security service says it had eliminated a group of 4 Ukrainian fighters who tried to cross into Russia's western Bryansk region from northern Ukraine, Russian news agency had reported. The announcement came a day after Moscow said it had prevented Ukrainian militants from infiltrating the Bryansk region, which has regularly seen similar attacks. This Starodolsky district lies in the western corner of the Bryansk region, not far from the border with Moscow-allied Belarus. The FSB claimed the group had foreign weapons and explosive devices and said they were planning provocations and sabotage actions on Russian territory. In June, the Russian region of Belgorod saw the largest incursion since the beginning of the offensive in Ukraine. Drones and shelling were used in the assault, raising questions about the strength of Russian border defenses. As we take a look at sports now, President of the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, Ibrahim Gusau, says the federation will put to rest the lingering contract issues of the Super Eagles and Super Falcons coaches before their respective assignments next month. This is coming in the wake of the uncertainty over the contracts of Jose Peseiro, who handles the Eagles, and Randy Waldrum, who just led the Falcons to the round of 16 at the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Both coaches are deemed to have been out their contracts with the NFF, but Gusau on Tuesday said the NFF would make a decision on both coaches next month. Peseiro was appointed in May 2022 by the clause of qualifying and reaching the final 2023 AFCON in Ivory Coast, which will now be played in January of 2024, has cast doubts on whether he will continue on the job till next year, as his contract is reported to have expired. England have spoiled the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup co-host Australia's party by booking their place in the tournament final for the first time on a historic evening in Sydney. Silencing a sellout crowd at Stadium Australia, the Lionesses became the first English side since 1966 to reach the final on the world stage. It caps a sensational 2 years under manager Serena Wigman as England, crowned European champions for the first time last year on home soil, showed their superiority and know-how to see off an Australian side spoiled by a nation which has been inspired by Matilda's success. Ella Toone gave England the lead in the first half with a superb first-time strike, which sailed into the top corner. The Lionesses controlled proceedings until the second half, when Australia threw everything at them, and star striker Sam Kerr, steering her first match of the tournament, struck a 25-yard stunner over goalkeeper Mary Earp's head to make it 1-1. And that wraps it up here on Global TV News Express. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Remember to kindly follow us across our social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Muyi Agumov. We'll be thanking you so very much for watching. Remember to join us for News Cycle.